Hello, Internet. This is Aaron from evacstation, here to remind you that while we may not have the best technology in the world to create floating castles, we have good enough technology to create a run-of-the-mill podcast. And if you like this run-of-the-mill podcast or any of the other crazy shows we do and want to support us and throw your money away our direction, please go to patreon.com and go to the evacstation Patreon where we can help make more of this stuff. Because, I mean, God knows this world would be nothing without us, and certainly you could definitely make that happen. So please, patreon.com/evacstation to support the evacstation videos and podcast. Thank you very much, and enjoy the show.
It's a life where we do something that no one else can.
And the path that we've taken will lead us one final step.
There's a moment we'll make a decision, not to cower and crash on the ground.
The moment we face our demons, our courage found.
Hello, Internet, and welcome to the After Credits cast. No matter how many weapons you have, no matter how great your technology may be, you cannot live without... did I not give the fun names for this one? I guess I'll just go with the normal names this time. Ryan Metters. and I'm Aaron Waseska. And Ryan, I meant to put funny names here, but the names I have here I copy-pasted from the other one when I was making the outline, and I just didn't change them from Airbell Waseska and Lord Ryupa. It happens. I guess it's Ryan Muska. And who the fuck I am. So let's get started.
Whoever the fuck Aaron is.
So today we're talking about Laputa Castle in the Sky. Before we get into that though, Ryan, what you watching?
God damn it, I am. Let's see, what else am I watching?
Well, I have been watching trailers, Ryan, since I have been watching stuff for other shows and this show. I've been a little busy, but I did manage to find some time for trailers for upcoming Pokemon games.
Oh yes, I did see that trailer. That's kind of nuts. There, that's ambitious. I'm very excited to see what they do with it. I know that game is not for me, but the sheer scope of doing a remake of Pokemon Yellow and adding Pokemon Go to it is pretty damn interesting. Like, it's ambitious.
Oh yeah. I'm looking at it actually, and I'm thinking to myself, prior to this, the biggest split in the fan base was Gen 1ers and everybody else. Now it's Pokemon Go players and everyone else. And I'm not hating on Pokemon Go. If you like Pokemon Go, have at it. I could never really get into it. I tried twice and just... I dropped it hard the second time. I'm like, I'm done. And this game coming out that kind of... I guess it doesn't require, but it definitely expects a good investment on your Pokemon Go. It doesn't feel like something I'm going to definitely get into, but I know I know people who are going to get a lot out of it because they have spent so much time in Pokemon Go that they're going to have a lot of fun. So I hope they have fun. I hope they have fun.
So here's the thing: from what I've seen of it, it doesn't look like it. It doesn't look like it relies heavily. It will make you play Pokemon Go.
No,
I feel like it adds a lot of elements of Pokemon Go to Yellow, which in and of itself is pretty cool. The idea of actually throwing a Pokeball, the idea of making making all the controls from one hand and being able to actually do two-player in fucking Pokemon Yellow, that's huge. And the fact that it comes with a Pokeball that you can actually add your Pokemon to and just make your way around, so you don't have to have Pokemon Go burning up your fucking battery while you're walking your Pokemon.
There are some positives,
very cool.
of course.
So yeah, I feel like they add a lot of stuff from Pokemon Go, but it's not gonna make you play Pokemon Go again.
That being said, though, I'm actually more excited for the weird little looking like cube game they have for phones and for, I think they said it's coming to Switch too. Like Pokemon, I don't remember what it's called. It's like Pokemon something. It looked like Minecraft Pokemon at first, but then I actually saw a trailer and it's like not. It was weird, but I liked what it was doing a bit better because it's something different. But I don't know. But yeah, that was my watching week. How about you?
Well, I've actually started to get back in. I actually started checking out the season 1 of Critical Role, which has all in all about 140 some odd 4-hour-long episodes. I'm on episode 7. It's definitely interesting. I was putting it on while I was playing Dark Souls, and it's really cool to just kind of hear them fuck around. And it's also interesting to hear them, like, because the first season of Critical Role actually starts recording, like, on their group that's already been playing for 2 years.
Yeah.
So they're definitely getting used to the recording aspect of it. But they've also already got, like, their kind of party dynamics set up, which is definitely different from Season 2, which they're starting from, like, level 2 characters, and they're definitely more versed in the recording aspect of the show, but you get to see them build their group from scratch. So I like comparing and contrasting the two. It's pretty cool. I'm definitely digging it.
Yeah, I'm still in Season 1, actually. I'm at the part... have you ever listened to Season 1 before?
No, it's my first watch through. I'm literally, like, at the beginning. They just fought... well, not literally the beginning, but they just raided the Duragar camp, and they met Clarota, which Matt Mercer is the best fucking person on the planet with his voices. I'm like, oh my god, he's RPing an Olympic. This is cool. This is fucking ridiculous.
I cannot wait to see what your thoughts are at the end of that little arc. It's actually pretty fun. I like it.
I can't wait, dude. I can't wait. I like that's gonna be the majority of my free time. I'll be playing Dark Souls or something on my PC and listening to that.
But I'm on the second arc of that right now. I'm on, like, episode 17 or 18, I think. Maybe 20. I don't remember where I left off. But my favorite character is still Grog. He's just adorably fun.
Grog! Grog! Travis is such a good actor. He's so ridiculous because I think you especially will love the transition because he plays Grog, who's lovably stupid, for, like, fucking 150 episodes, and his character in Season 2, he plays a charismatic warlock.
That's fucking great.
Just, like, fucking all the way, like other end of the spectrum, fucking improv master. He'll cast disguise self and be somebody completely different with a whole new accent. I'm like, god damn it, Travis. See, he's playing around now.
They got a few good voice actors in there. Actually, I want to bring up, though, you'll enjoy some of the guest stars. I think there's probably some in Season 2 you probably already heard. But in Season 1, they just introduced a couple guest people on the show. I think one of them's actually from the Guild.
Ooh, I believe it. I would not be surprised at all if Felicia Day just showed up and be like, "Hey guys," I was like, "Yes."
So yeah,
oh my love.
I'm looking forward to see how that plays out. It's a lot of fun.
Oh man.
If you have not listened to Critical Role, I highly suggest doing that. If you're big into D&D or just want to learn about what Dungeons and Dragons is, it's a great place to start.
And you can also talk to us about it because we really like it, and we're lonely. And we really like to talk about D&D.
We really do. I actually should tell you about the game that Nicole's running that I'm in. It's hilarious. I'm gonna do a quick aside. I'm playing like a drunk-ass wizard.
I love it.
And I guess this will come out way after this session coming up this weekend. But so my gimmick is if I drink too much, I black out, and when I black out, a dark alter ego comes out and wants to destroy everything.
Oh, that sounds like a fantastic character bit.
So I failed a few checks this last session, and now Nicole and I are prepping for me to go hog wild. It's gonna be great.
Oh man, it's like, alright, darkness time, fucking end them.
I'm having a lot of fun with that. But
insubordination, fucking obliterate him.
speaking of having fun, let's get to our SummerSlam movie this week.
Let's do it.
This week on the Studio Ghibli SummerSlam, we have Laputa, Castle in the Sky. This was released in 1986 and is the first official Studio Ghibli film after the creation of the company. The dub features voice work from the likes of Anna Paquin, who played Rogue in X-Men, Mark Hamill, who played Joker in Batman, James Van Der Beek, I don't know what else he played.
James Van Der Beek?
Yeah, he plays...
From Dawson's Creek, James Van Der Beek?
Yes, he plays Pazu.
God damn it. I gotta listen to the English dubs. What am I doing? Fuck.
One of my favorites that I didn't realize, Cloris Leachman, who plays in Malcolm in the Middle, plays Dola in this movie.
Wait, who is that in Malcolm in the Middle?
She's the crazy grandma.
Oh my god.
She
plays the pirate grandma? She plays the granny pirate?
Yes, I do believe so.
Oh.
And the best part is too, she's an Iowa-born voice actress and actor. She's great.
Oh, that's so cool. Okay, yeah.
And of course, quick shout out to Andy Dick. He's in this as well.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so a lot of good names here. This is really good.
Hey, I mean, Ghibli gets really good English actors, man. They do it.
Well, Disney's responsible for a lot of the localization, at least for these older ones, and while they aren't always great at distribution, they are really good at localization, at least. I'll give them that.
Yeah.
This movie won an Ofuji Nobu Award at the Mainichi Film Concours. And as I was getting to, its release to the West actually took a good long while, not getting a full release on DVD or Blu-ray until after Spirited Away in 2001. That's a damn long time. So, with all that in mind, Ryan, what's your initial thoughts?
Initial thoughts, I thought it was really, really cool. I am a sucker for the really young romance stories. I know that's not great, but it's just super cute. It's just super cute, and I eat that stuff up. So, yeah, I really like this movie.
I can feel where you're coming from. Younger love with these two kids feels more innocent than you'd get with, like, say, teenagers or adults, because it's like, then there's the weird sexual stuff going on. With kids, it's all just pure joy, It's just pure, I like you, you like me. I'm going to save you from this fucking madman who wants to take over the world in this magical castle. But I got you, girl. Come on. It's so cool. I'm sorry. Yeah, no, you're cool. I would say my thoughts are, I think it's a good movie. I think it's fine. I definitely like the cleaner, crisper animation from Nausicaa. Not that Nausicaa was bad. Just this one, definitely, you can see that they got their animators, kicking up to the next level, saying, okay, guys, we want this to look fucking great. What do you got? And you got some really good, panoramic, I guess not panoramic, but, you have these, camera turns that give it a good 3D space to it without being full 3D. It looks great. It looks awesome.
Definitely. Yeah, you can definitely track the improvement in animation from Nausicaa to here. Definitely, they polished it up a lot.
And it's just one movie. It's just
all right, next. Bloop.
Wait till we get to the stuff that comes out in the 90s. Holy shit. Okay, so with initial thoughts out of the way, let's jump into the synopsis. Pirates attack Colonel Muska's ship and try to capture a little girl named Sheeta. She does an amulet that saves her from a very big fall from this same ship, causing her to run into Pazu, in this little town way, way down below. The two are told that the crystal is an amulet made of the same magic crap that keeps Laputa, our title castle in the sky somewhere, floating. The two are eventually captured and Pazu is released as long as Sheeta cooperates with the Joker. Pazu returns home in disappointment when pirates attack again. They are told the importance of the crystal and Sheeta and decide to help help him out rather than just kind of ignore the whole situation. Sheeta awakens a Laputa robot and uses the crystal to bring it great joy, destroying the fortress. Pazu saves Sheeta alongside Dola, the captain of the pirates, while Muska keeps the amulet for himself. They get separated from the pirates when they eventually land onto the castle after going through a ridiculous-ass storm. Muska reveals himself on this castle to be also of royalty to the Laputa people, much like he alludes Sheeta to being. He attempts to overtake the floating castle with the robot soldiers, but he doesn't really have good control over that power, and things kind of go haywire. With a little bit of backstory revealed earlier, is that, I really fucking wrote this horribly. Sheeta uses this magic spell that she revealed earlier to destroy Laputa along with Pazu's help. So the whole place falls apart, but Musk doesn't care at first, and then he realizes, oh shit, things are going wrong. He gets crushed by the falling building, then everyone departs with the treasure, and it's the end of the movie. I skipped over a lot of shit. This synopsis is terrible. Let's put this on the record here. This is probably the worst synopsis I've done for the whole series. Worst synopsis.
I just liked hearing you bounce around from one day to the next. And then this happened. I was like, shit. Oh, that did happen. All right.
Yeah. This one fell apart from here. Ryan, save me here. What did you think of this movie?
So I really liked it. I thought it was. I thought the story in and of itself was pretty simple and to the point, which kind of freed the movie up to put its energy towards other things like really crisp animation. I also like the general sense of fun and adventure in this movie. Like you when you have the fight between the pirates and the miners, and these pirates are literally after some kids of yours, but everybody who's getting into it is like, oh yeah, we're about to have us a good old-fashioned row. We haven't done this in forever. I'm gonna punch you. Alright, I'm gonna punch you back. Oh shit.
I love the scene where they're flexing their muscles, ripping their shirts up. It's just so silly.
Yeah, no, it's ridiculous. So I really liked a lot of stuff about this movie. I loved the relationship between Sheeta and Pazu. And maybe you brought this up in your discussion questions, maybe I'm jumping ahead, but what kind of stuck out to me and what I'm coming to realize is a penchant in earlier Miyazaki movies, I think, is this idea of reinforcing what masculinity is.
Go on. I didn't write this down, but I'm very curious what your thoughts are on this. What are you getting at?
So there's definitely a lot of the focus of the movie, especially when it comes to Pazu and any other guys that are on the screen. This idea of come on, man, be strong, be a man, oh, so what? You just left the poor girl in there? You took money, so that you would leave her alone? Where's your sense of manliness and and what have you? So, in and of itself, I want to say it's not toxic. The masculinity promoted in the movie is not in and of itself toxic, because
it's trying to be the positive aspects of masculinity, at least.
Right. It talks about being strong, about being dependable, about standing up for the people that you care for, and going the extra distance for those people. And I definitely agree with those aspects of it, but in and of itself, that's another way it shows its age, because it's so blunt out there. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, well, there's two aspects I think we need to consider here too. One of which is, yes, it takes place in the 80s, before the woke era, I guess you'd call it, where... no, that's a fair way to describe it, because...
No, it is. I just laughed at how you put it. No, you're right.
Because I would say the whole idea of masculinity being this big and important thing to uphold is a concept that's definitely carried out through the 90s and maybe even the early 2000s until maybe, 2008, 2010, something like that?
Yeah, I can see that.
The other thing to consider here, too, though, is the translation issues and the cultural aspect in Japan. Because while the whole toxic masculinity discussions here in the States are taking place, In Japan, it's a different story. So I don't know how familiar you are with Japanese culture in this regard, but I remember reading some stuff about how in traditional Japanese high schools, compared to American schools at least, in American schools you'll see couples hooking up, you'll see them making it out in the hallways, you'll just see this over-sexualized energy happening where these teenagers are just wanting to do stuff right then and there. In Japan, it's a little different, at least from what I've read, and this may have changed since I've read this. But back in Japan, at least at a certain point, women were very aggressive in terms of wanting to find, partners and stuff. And men were very not aggressive, to the point where the women scared them. And so there's the idea of masculinity is different there, I think, and it definitely means a lot more. It has a lot more weight to it in certain aspects there than it does here, I think. And it's still it's just. I wish I had Max here to kind of help explain it better, because I know he's probably a little more read on this more recently than I am. But
God damn it, Max! I need you to break down Japanese culture for me.
But I know there was a point when this was an issue, and it actually has led to the decline in population because you are getting less men approaching women and having families and making kids there. So it all kind of ties together. So it's getting us very far from the movie, but to go to the masculinity thing, I think Japan's discussion about it is significantly different than what America's discussion would be about it, for sure.
Huh. Okay. Yeah. No, I can definitely see that being a point of cultural difference. That definitely is kind of more stark to our sensibilities. And like I said, there was nothing. I didn't find anything wrong with it because it wasn't promoting it in a toxic way whatsoever. It was just so in your face. I was just like, I thought it would be something to bring up. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I hear you. I would say if anyone needs to know the best examples of proper masculinity, watch Mulan. I mean, it has a whole song dedicated to it.
Something about being swift as the coursing river.
Mysterious as the dark side of the moon.
Yet. I'm not that fast yet, man. I'm working on it.
I'm quite mysterious, though, I'd like to think.
Yeah, you're pretty mysterious, man.
Alright, so I have a few discussion questions. Some of them are a little sillier than the ones we had last time, but,
Alright, let's get it.
First off, how resilient is Pazu? He takes a lot of abuse in this film.
Man, my boy got shot in the face. Like, yo, he got a bullet grazed his cheek, and he was still moving. I'm like, come on, man.
I mean, the good news is it didn't go through it, just grazed it. But I mean,
I mean, it's just like, damn. Yeah,
I've seen a lot of other people in the films just freak out over that. He took it like a champ. I'm pretty impressed.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And again, like, it's him, like, I feel like Pazu's definitely, like, trying to channel all those aspects of masculinity. I mean, he's doing that, like, and it's really interesting because he draws on that from, like, obviously the pirates around him. He draws on that from,
the mining
his
town
love for Sheeta, the mining town. But I feel like he also draws on that from the memory of his father, who he thinks of as the bravest person on the planet, because this dude took an airship to a storm to try and find this mythical city, and he's there fulfilling his father's dream and simultaneously going to rescue the woman he loves. It's like nothing's gonna stop Pazu at this point. Like, literally, nothing is gonna stop him from reaching his goals. So yes, he is so resilient.
Oh yeah, and more to your point about the whole masculinity thing, he's definitely proven himself to be I'm not going to say the word masculine because, like I said, it has weird connotations for people, but it definitely shows he's got a wealth of good character in him. He's a good person who is stepping up and doing the right thing to protect the people he cares about, and he's just going to sacrifice whatever he can to make it happen. And he does a great job doing that. I think they definitely painted a clear picture of him, even if it's a bit tropey, I would say, to an extent. It is a bit tropey. It fits.
Yeah. It does fit. And Granny, when Granny hands him her fucking hand cannon, like, use this to go save Sheeta, and as he runs off, she's like, he's finally become a man. I was like, yeah, I'll give you that, Granny. He's there. This poor kid. This kid is the best.
Well, speaking of Granny, next question is, Would you ever join the Dola Pirates?
I don't.
I mean,
Personally,
they feel very competent. I feel like they do get the job done when they need to.
yeah, I definitely. Personally, I probably wouldn't, but I will say there was a part of me that was kind of sad that they didn't ride off with the pirates, because like I could see an alternate universe of this movie where they actually stick around and the whole pirates, like all the pirates, essentially become like their family, and Pazu and Cheetah like end up like becoming like Granny and Pops, like at like when they're all grown up running this pirate crew, and every now and again when something crazy happens, she busts out her pendant and like uses the healing spell or some shit. I was a little sad that didn't happen.
Man,
So,
now I'm kind of wanting this to be like a crossover with One Piece, so you get the Dola Pirates meeting up with the Straw Hat Pirates, and it's just a fucking massacre right there, just
my
bullshit.
God. Yes, dude, Pazu was rocking hockey. I absolutely believe it.
I
He
can
was
believe it.
definitely rocking some hockey. So
Um,
damn confident.
While I think I'd be interested in joining the pirate crew, and I think my logic is that the ship they have is really interesting and cool. And
Definitely.
I would love to be like not necessarily an engineer because I'm not that it's intelligent, but I'd love to at least learn how the mechanisms work. Because I'd love to be down there with Mini Robotnik and just trying out all the cool stuff they got going on.
Yes,
plus-
no, absolutely.
Plus the crow's nest turning into a kite is fucking baller. I love that kind of shit. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
that was really baller. That was really boss.
Okay, so here's an interesting question. Would you want to see a prequel or some other kind of movie set in this universe where Laputa was still a thriving city?
Honestly, no. And I would say because Sheeta actually kind of hits the nail on the head, like in the throne room, because you see like this grand city and they have all of these, and they have all this like technology and all this, that, and the other, and it's gorgeous, and they live in the sky. But she says, no matter like. In a nutshell, she says, like, no matter how advanced you get, you can't live separated from the earth. So it becomes in and of itself a metaphor for humanity, because as amazing as we do individually, we're nothing if we're not connected to our surroundings and to the people around us. And Laputa died out because it separated itself from everyone else. Like, it was this magnificent castle in the sky, but it had no roots to like tie it to the rest of society, so nobody cared if it vanished into myth. So no, I would say I wouldn't want to see something with Laputa actually thriving.
That's fair. That's fair. I was curious about the idea. I wouldn't mind seeing a short at least, just kind of seeing what the place functioned like back in the day. But I wouldn't.
Yeah.
I wouldn't need to see a whole movie. I don't think. If the kids had gone off with the pirates, I would love to have seen more adventures with the pirates because I think it'd be kind of fun. But they didn't.
Yeah.
So I would say what we got's really good still.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna knock the ending at all, because like Pazu and Sheeta flew off to have a happy ever after at fucking 9. So they were doing great. They were winning life at that point. But yeah,
yeah.
I'm not mad at them.
And we'll see similar themes like that too, because I was reading ahead on some of the movies we got coming up and how they compare to like certain Disney movies. Like there's one coming up later down the road called Ponyo, which from what I've read is essentially a Japanese spin or the Miyazaki spin on the Little Mermaid story. So I'm like,
Ooh.
okay, let's see how this all compares, because I'm curious to see what other fairy tale ideas they've kind of not usurped, but taken notes on, I guess is what's the best way to put it.
Yeah, no, I'm down with that. I'm definitely down with that.
And speaking of which, so I'm going to break away from our usual discussion questions here to bring up I guess it's going to be like a pseudo segment, like it'll come up every now and then, but this is the Studio Ghibli Theory Hour minute.
Ooh.
So there are fan theories out there, some of which have been proven true. Others have yet to be proven true. And this film actually does have one of those theories, which regards Dola herself.
Okay.
So originally, from what I've read, Miyazaki had put out I guess you'd call it a request to the maker of the author of Pippi Longstocking to make a Pippi Longstocking like anime movie. But they never really got the approval for that. The writer never really gave him his blessing to do it. So they decided to do something else. And the long-standing rumor is that Dola is kind of the remains of an older Pippi Longstocking anime kind of thing, where she grew up to have her own band of like pirates and shit. And some of the evidence behind it is that there's actually some concept art from the original ideas that Miyazaki had drafted up, where you see Pippi kind of directing these boys who are in fact in pirate costumes, going around and doing all sorts of fun and cool shit.
Oh my god, that sounds amazing.
There are many theories like that. That's definitely one of them. And I think there's more to it, but that's all I remember off the top of my head. I probably should just have this stuff in front of me next time.
I like that. No, I really like that. And if you want to link me that concept art, I'd love to see it too.
Yeah, I'm going to look it up right now so I can get that to you real quick. Let's see, that is the Miyazaki... let's see, here is the Google search, because this basically has exactly what you're looking for. Anyway, so that is our theory minute there. Ryan, how do you think that theory holds up now that you've seen that you have the artwork in front of you?
Pulling up the artwork now. 100%. 100%. Even the way that her hair sticks out to the side, yeah, nah, Granny is Pippi Longstockings in pirate form. I love it.
It's definitely a cool theory, and I loved how it played out as it did. Alright, so I have another question for you, Ryan, that is loosely related to this, but since you don't watch the dubs yet, this might not hit you quite as hard. So, Ryan, you've seen anime before, both local and Japanese, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So when you listen to an anime that's been dubbed, and you hear actors that are very familiar to you, does that ever distract you from the show because you can tell who they are?
I would say I get the initial, holy shit, that's X from Blank. And then if they if they're doing a great job at what they're doing, then that kind of fades pretty quickly, and like after a few more minutes, I'm just into the story. So yeah.
Okay. I was very curious because I know that in this movie there's two voices that stuck out to me that I caught right away. One of which is obviously Mark Hamill's, pre-Joker voice, and then the other one was what's his name? I don't remember who the actor was for this one, but he's the same actor who does Pete in all the Disney things, like the big dude who's always beat up on Mickey and Friends. And he plays the general in this movie, and when I heard his voice, I'm like, that sounds so familiar. I need to IMDb this right now, and I found out who it was. Like, you motherfucker, I knew it.
That makes sense for you and for a lot of other people who really keep up with voice actors, because I personally don't. So unless they're like a notable name that I've absolutely heard of and know right off the top of my head, I won't be able to say, oh, that's the voice from fucking Phineas and Ferb. I don't know. Whatever.
The reason I caught it out though was because it wasn't so much that I knew the actor, but the voice sounded so familiar. A good example was back in the last time we did Nausicaa, when the old woman Obaba speaks. She doesn't have a voice actress that sticks out to me when I looked up the name, but I've heard the voice in a lot of other stuff before because it has that old lady generic sounding voice. I'm like, is that old lady just like a generic stock voice, or do they actually have someone playing that who knows what they're doing? So I looked it up, and it turns out she's in so much shit. She plays Agnes Skinner.
Wait, she plays who?
the woman who plays Obaba in Nausicaa Valley of the Wind is the one who plays Agnes Skinner on The Simpsons.
Really?
As soon as I saw it, I'm like, that makes so much more sense.
Yeah. I mean, hey, some notable, long-standing voice actors, man, they do everything. They've got like 100 voices to 100 credits to their name. So yeah, no, I'm not amazingly surprised. Yeah.
But the first time I ever noticed this trend with me was back when I was watching the old 90s Spider-Man cartoon. Remember that one?
Yes, absolutely.
I noticed it after having watched some Batman, and then going over to this, there's an episode of Hobgoblin just crashed around the city. I heard him laugh, and I'm like, wait a minute, why does that laugh sound so familiar? So I looked it up, and it turns out both Hobgoblin and Joker are the same fucking voice actor. I'm like, motherfucker, what the hell?
Mark Hamill did Hobgoblin?
I had a fucking mental breakdown as soon as I saw that. I'm like, oh man, he's everywhere. I thought he was the hero of the universe.
Holy shit.
And what's funny is I didn't notice it until I heard the laugh. That's all I needed to hear.
Oh, I mean, that's iconic.
Oh yeah, of course. But yeah, so those are my discussion questions for this week. Ryan, before we get into the next segment here is a new discussion question for you. I have.
Ooh. Okay.
I guess I should say it's a new running segment we're going to try to do throughout the series. It's going to be called the Miyazaki Conspiracy. And basically, this segment here, Ryan, there's another fan theory that we're going to try to see how well it holds up throughout the whole series here. And that is, all the films are connected. All of them. At least that's what the claim of the theory is.
Oh, I know exactly where you're going with this.
And so every week, we're going to try, at least if we have time to figure out where the connections are in the films. Some of them will be more obvious than others. This film actually has connections to 2 movies, one of which we have not seen yet, so we will not get into that right now. We'll get to it when we see it. But, Ryan, you clearly know what the connection is with this movie, so go ahead and tell the fans what connection that is.
Oh, that goddamn squirrel, the goddamn squirrel cat! The squirrel cat from Nausicaa! They were right there!
They were cute, too. I love them. I actually looked up, and they actually have a keychain of them. It's pretty sweet.
Oh, man. Looking like fucking Eevee partially evolved into Jolteon or some shit. I love it. I absolutely love it.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of connective tissue between them. I think it's not on purpose. I think it's literally just, oh, hey, these are Easter eggs. It'll be fun for the audience to just pick out. Nothing.
Yeah, that's more than likely what it is. But it did exactly what it was supposed to do. You're like, oh shit, the little thing's from Nausicaa. Hey. Yeah.
Well, and according to this shared timeline theory, the theory is that Nausicaa's the first film in the whole franchise is the one that takes place at the very end, at the end of the world, basically.
Yeah, when the world is all dead. Yeah, that makes sense.
So, I like the idea behind the theory, and we'll explore it more as we're going through this whole series, because I think it's actually kind of a fun idea just to see how things sort of stack up.
Yeah, no, that's so good. Please keep doing that. I want to see more of those.
Yep. I'll actually have to do more research to see the connections, to get the net connection notes myself. So that way when I ask you in future videos, I don't feel like I'm not having something to back it up with. So, that'll be something I'll do homework on this week. And now, since Max is still not here, obviously, I don't want to jump into another anime trivia segment, because that'd be a little one-sided here. I mean, there's 2 here you might get, Ryan. You want me to throw them your way, see if you get them?
I probably wouldn't, but it also, I mean, I can try, but...
I think this first one you'll for sure get. If you don't, I'll be a little surprised, actually.
Alright, prepare to be shocked and amazed.
Alright, Ryan. So for the Name the Anime trivia segment here, this first one, the original run of this fantasy anime was in April of 1998. Yes, I'm picking ones that are purposely before Max was born to help you out here.
Damn. He'd still kick my ass.
Probably.
Alright, you said fantasy 1998?
Yep.
Alright, what's next?
This show has 4 films and 5 spin-offs set after the release of the original anime.
4 films and 5 spin-offs?
I just heard about a 5th one that came out very recently, yes. I'm surprised they have that many.
5 spin-offs. Shit. Alright, what's next?
Alright. Number 3. I think this might trigger it here for you. A fan-made dub of this anime was released, spawning a YouTube trend for many years.
Dragon Ball Z.
Oh, no! No, you're wrong!
What?
Nope. You want the next clue?
Damn it! There's only one guess per gift, right?
Yep.
Int, right? Okay,
Yep.
what's next?
This anime was dubbed by the now infamous 4Kids, but hosts memorable voices such as Dan Green and Eric Stewart.
Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yep.
There it is.
You were close. You were so close the first time.
I mean, when I heard fan dub, I instantly thought DBZ abridged. And I was just like, oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense. Plus, you have Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball GT, Dragon Ball Super, whatever the fuck. Yeah. So I was just like, yeah, DBZ. But yeah, no, it was close. That makes sense.
Yeah. Yu-Gi-Oh! Now has GX, Zexal, 5Ds, and there has some other two other new shits. I can't remember what the names are anymore. I don't know why. I
Lord
don't know why.
have mercy.
Okay, Ryan. Here's another one for you. This original run of this action sci-fi anime was in October of 2002.
Okay, action sci-fi, October 2002. Okay, next.
The anime predates the manga by 8 years, and it even started with a movie before it got its own anime series.
Wait, I'm sorry. Hold on, say that again?
Alright, let's slow down for you. This anime predates its own manga by 8 years, so the manga didn't come out till 8 years later. And before the series started, it actually all began with a movie. So like it was movie first, then anime, and then eventually a manga like 8 years later.
What?
Yeah.
Alright, next.
Alright, this one might trip it off for you here. This show has been unceremoniously removed from the Toonami network multiple times to make way for shows like Inuyasha and Beware the Batman before finding a permanent home on Adult Swim. I feel like it's on the tip of his tongue, but he can't quite nail it down. Some sound effects going on there. It's fantastic.
Samurai Jack?
Nope.
Okay, alright, next.
This series has directly inspired Japanese scientists to develop actual thermopic camouflage cloaking technology that works by bending light around the wearer.
See, this is. I'm kicking myself because I didn't have Toonami and Adult Swim when I was growing up, so I missed out on a lot of shit that I should have seen as a kid.
You want the last clue?
Yeah, what's the last clue?
This is going to give it away without question. In 2017, an ill-advised live-action film was released featuring notable non-Japanese actress Scarlett Johansson as the lead role.
Ghost in the Shell.
Yep. I should have lived with that one, honestly.
No, that would have given it away. That would have given it away.
Yeah.
I have not seen or read Ghost in the Shell. Although it's really interesting that the movie and the anime both predate the manga. That's crazy to me.
There are actually a good number of anime that predate their manga. In fact, some people have told me that they prefer it when they prefer the anime when it doesn't have a manga it's based on, because it allows it to be a little more original and not have to.
And allows it to be new, because then people can't fuck this. I want to read the manga and get it now. That makes sense.
Me, I've always been more of a manga kid, but I just like reading the comics because I can blow through them in an afternoon and have a lot of fun that way.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's our handy dandy trivia. I got one more anime listed here, Ryan, but Max isn't here. I kind of want to go through it because there's a clue in here I think you're just going to like, even if you don't know what it is.
Alright, come on with it.
Okay. The original run of this sci-fi anime started in January of 2014.
Sci-fi anime 2014. Okay. Next.
The world premiere of this show actually took place on the North American Toonami television block. The world premiere, so every country saw it all at the same time, basically.
Huh. You said
let's see.
2014?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Number 3, the dubbed voice cast features names like Ian Sinclair, Alison Victron, Joel McDonald, and J. Michael Tatum. I don't know if any of those names ring a bell to you. They didn't for me.
Not at all. Next.
Alright, this clue I actually like a lot. I don't think it's going to give it away if you don't know the anime, but I just like the clue. Marvel's Star-Lord appreciate this show, as everyone still listens to their music on audio cassettes, as MP3s and CDs do not exist.
I like that. That's good. 2014. Still listen to cassettes. I am more than likely not going to get this one. But what's the last one?
The last one I also like a lot, too. Every alien shown in the series is conceptualized by a different artist to give a feel of diversity and variety among the alien species.
Oh, that's really cool.
It's really good.
I don't know it, but that's really cool design.
It's on my list of things to check out now that I've seen all this stuff. But Space Dandy.
Space Dandy?
Yep.
What the fuck? Alright.
I kind of wish Max was here to give us more details, but yeah, Space Dandy. Has a lot of cool design ideas behind it, so I'm down to check it out when I get a chance to.
Okay, alright.
Well, Ryan,
that's definitely interesting.
Well, Ryan, you got 2 out of 3. That's good. I'll give you that.
Hey! I got 2 out of 3 when I wasn't playing against anybody.
So yeah. If you have suggestions for anime that Ryan should guess, or that Max should guess, or that anyone on this show should guess, please send them to our comments down below on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr, and then email. Ryan, what's that email?
That is evacstation@gmail.com.
We'll be sure to answer your questions. We'll answer your mailbag questions if you have any, and we'll just read comments and suggestions. We're always down for that. With that, Ryan, let's go to our final thoughts and close out here. So, how would we rank this movie? What would you put it at? Or I guess how would you review it?
I would give it a similar ranking to the one we gave Nausicaa. In which case, I really enjoyed the hell out of this movie. I thought it was a lot of fun. I love the animation style, and I can absolutely understand how it would be people's favorites and classics, since it was one of the first to come out, and like people would have grown up with like these. So it's definitely a classic for some people. I personally would say it's high silver to medium gold quality. Like, it's definitely worth the watch. It's a lot of fun and a very good use of time.
I would definitely say that I think I prefer Nausicaa a bit more. I would say this definitely sits at a silver level for me, and it's not that I hate it. It's just that the story is so much simpler, and it's not bad. It just feels more like a little more generic. Not bad by any means, but a little more generic.
It's definitely a more straightforward adventure story. I think that Studio Ghibli, especially since this is the first under the official Studio Ghibli name, they needed to have a simpler movie so that they could stretch their wings animation-wise and like kind of flesh out a bunch of other stuff that they wanted to do. So I definitely see why they went the simpler route. But yeah, no, I understand where you're coming from.
Oh yeah. And also, I can't give every movie a gold and platinum because then, like, it's like, how can
they're all must see. If it says Miyazaki, fucking stop what you're doing and watch it.
I mean, it's not wrong.
That's not incorrect, but no, I understand. No, it's good. It's good, and we're gonna get to like some real platinums. I haven't seen Mononoke in years, but I have very little doubt that it will be a platinum when I revisit it. So
I'll be honest, I've never seen it, but I've heard a lot of good things about it, so I'm hoping the hype is real.
Mononoke is so good. The animation is just ridiculous. Alright.
So that is our thoughts on Castle in the Sky here. If you enjoyed this episode, please be sure to check us out on our social media platforms, Facebook, Tumblr, Twitter. And also our Patreon page, we could always use a donation to help the show get better quality, better synopsises that don't sound like shit, and of course help support our other shows like the up-and-coming Ringside Ramble, which we'll talk more about in a future episode here before it launches, because I'm excited for that. It's going to be fun. And of course, we're also working on a website, and if you have any questions for us in particular, you can always reach out to us at our email, which Ryan has already told you, evacstation@gmail.com.
Guys, seriously, I'm lonely. Please write us. Please.
So we'll see you next time. You'll hear, the next one you'll hear will probably be Totoro, My Neighbor Totoro. Ryan will record something completely different because we have to record that with Nicole in a couple weeks.
Yes.
So we'll see you guys after the credits.
Bye.